We'll let Shelby go first, because Shelby wants to say something.
I'll just kick it off now.
All right, Zach Greenberg.
First of all, fresh cut. Second, so Mac was in here yesterday just talking about kind of like cell phone free zones. Like sometimes you guys go into meetings, you have to shut the phone off, things like that. Just tell me a little bit about that. Where are some of the areas that you guys like cannot use the phones?
I wouldn't really say it's areas where you can't use your phone, but I feel like it takes up so much of your time, and people just are on their phones all the time. So when we're getting ready for games, that's pregame meetings in the locker room, kind of really getting dialed in. We try and put an emphasis on not going on our phones because we're nothing on that really matters when we're playing a game. It's all about what our mission is, and that's to go 1-0 every week. And going on our phone is not going to provide any benefit towards going on that mission.
So Austin Blasky goes down, Levin snaps in, and you got to run out there. Given the track that you've gone in the last several months, what's running through your mind when you run out there?
Just play football and have fun. I feel like the more you think about it, going into that situation, the more nervous you're going to be, and it's going to kind of open up the area for making mistakes. If that's having a bad snap, not reading the defense right. So I feel like I really told myself just focus small. Coach Clem always said it's about the process, focus small. So all I was focusing on right away was getting the snap back there, giving out the right calls, and just playing football and having fun. That's kind of what I told myself before every series going out there.
When we talked to you in July, you expressed a lot of confidence, and you said, "Look, there's a lot of good players I played against. I believe I can play at this level and everything." How quickly, when you got on the field, was it just football? And a little bit bigger guys, perhaps, but it's just football, and you were the same guy you were at Greenberg.
I think that's one of the great things that North Carolina has to offer, because our defensive line is one of the best, if not the best, defensive line in the ACC, and we're fortunate enough to go against them every single day. So I feel like those reps, those days, those practices that we continue to go through is kind of what makes playing in the game like that kind of no different, if not a little bit easier than practice. Yeah, because the guys we play against they're good players. Ritzy, Josh, Ruck, Dez, all of them, they're top ACC players. So having the opportunity to go against them every day kind of lets you go out there and know you've won against the best already. So it's really just playing football and having fun.
To go off of Saturday as well, having a chance to look at it and really see, what you were doing out there, how would you kind of, assess yourself on film and, what things you feel you did well, what things you feel you would like to,
everyone says that you're always hardest on yourself, but there's definitely a lot of areas for improvement. I think my pad level, for one, I definitely have to play lower, and that kind of allows you to play more forceful. So I think that's kind of the one thing I put an emphasis on out the gate this morning in practice, and really having power out of your stance, if that's focusing small, so your first step, kind of how you follow it up with your second step. So I think that's kind of been my big emphasis so far this week, is kind of that, and because that's something that you can control yourself, is having better pad level. That leads to a lot of other smaller things that lead to the bigger things. But in terms of good, I just think, we played a really good 5-man football up front. We kind of worked really well together in a situation where we might not have had that many reps before. And it's all about getting the gel and kind of seeing how you play with each other. So I think the guards did a great job kind of with me just getting thrown. They're kind of playing as a unit, which allowed our backs to get downhill because we were hip to hip and moving up to the second level. So I think playing true 5-man football is one of the things I did good this weekend.
And then to kind of go off of that a little bit, thinking back to training camp and, seeing, I guess, how Austin, did approach things and watching him at that center position, what were some of the things that you feel that you picked up from him that you're able to kind of translate and bring over into games?
Yeah, I think he's kind of helped us all a lot. The kind of knowledge he has for the game is immense. So I feel like it's picking up the offense. That's kind of, he's helped me from that from day one, because at center you kind of have to call out everything in a running game and pass game. So that's a big responsibility that center bears, that he helps and continues to help us even now, kind of on all the smaller things. So I feel like that's one thing that he's really been helpful with.
Zach, the theme from Coach Brown, at least from the start of the season, has been, playing to a standard. It's UNC versus UNC. Yeah. It's not UNC versus anyone else. Is it harder or more of a challenge to do that when you're playing an FCS team like Central, that a lot of people on the outside will say, "Oh, this is an automatic win"? Is it more challenging to sort of tune that out?
I think this is a great challenge for us because it challenges us with that. And I think we've got off to a great start, even on Sunday, making corrections from the game, watching film, getting better in all the little aspects. So it might challenge us, but that just prevails how great of a team and really how great of a culture we have, that you can look to your right, your left, and really hold them to that standard. Because who we play really doesn't matter. We really played a heavy emphasis on that we played North Carolina every week, and that's kind of how we approach everything we do, because if you can beat yourself, you can beat anyone.
Zach, I did look it up Saturday when you got in there. The Muhlenberg Mules played Moravian. I think they had won the game by the time you guys really got going.
Won the Sodexo Cup, yeah.
So what?
It's a rivalry. They won the Sodexo Cup between Muhlenberg and Moravian.
So there's like a trophy for the winner?
Yeah, because it's like a 10-minute drive, so it's a really long cup, Sodexo Cup, yeah. So on a pretty long streak winning that cup, that's not going to change. But yeah, sorry.
Okay, no,
I had to throw that out there.
We can work with that.
Okay.
He broadcast in the press box that.
Oh, that's
claimed
awesome.
Moravian
Yeah.
won.
I mean, hell, you know?
Absolutely.
I mean, I just thought it was interesting, you know? Okay, so there's a cup involved. What is the name of it?
Sodexo Cup.
Sodexo.
Because both of our dining halls use the Sodexo food services, so it's a nice little rivalry with that.
I didn't have that on my
Moravian.
bingo card today.
These are the questions you get.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was gonna say, because you did not get a snap, I don't think, in Minnesota, right?
Correct. No, I did not.
So I mean, was there ever Saturday? Did you have a welcome to Power Conference football? I know you're playing a Group of 5 team, but welcome to this level of football moment when you got in there.
I don't really think it was when I got in there. I think it started at Minnesota. Taking the tunnel as the away team, that's never really been a factor. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, going through the tunnel as a home team was an awesome experience. You have 50,000 fans cheering for you. You got fireworks going off. So I think I always try to stay present in everything that's going on and block out the noise. But if there was something, it would kind of be really getting the vibe of being the home team. That was awesome.
Yeah, and I guess I hadn't thought about that. I guess when you're talking about going out of the tunnel, you can look up too, and it's such a bigger venue than
absolutely, yeah. Had a wave of yellow 2 weeks ago. Got a wave of Carolina blue this week, so that was awesome.
So how do you process that when you're running out? Some people might be emotional, some people might get more pumped up. How did you process
Just
the
excited.
Minnesota moment
Yeah.
and here coming out of the tunnel?
Just excited, to kind of be in that environment, in that atmosphere. I had my friends and family here both times in Minnesota and here, so just knowing that in the back of my head again to share this ride, honestly, and this opportunity with them kind of means a lot.
That's kind of cool. They see you in this
Absolutely,
environment,
yeah.
and they know you back from high school where maybe this wasn't on the radar at the time.
Definitely, even before high school. It's been a long time, but yeah.
Did you hear from anybody that got a chance to see you on TV? Because you guys were on the
Yeah, I got a couple texts after that. Primarily my mom was the first one because she had to stay home for other reasons, but she was really happy. That was awesome watching it on TV. But a bunch of my family, friends from my old school, high school, all that was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome. Does anything about this week, I know you've had one practice, but, I'm assuming Austin may not be able to play. I mean, you could be, looking at your first start for the UNC Tar Heels. How does that change how you practice this week, if at all? And what does getting your head around possibly being the starting center this Saturday look like for you?
There's a lot of unknown. Austin's working really hard to get back, so we're not sure when that could be this week. So I don't really say anything changes. We like to say we have especially in the offensive line room, we have our standard that we have to get better every single day. And I would say we really hold ourselves accountable, and not just like me holding myself accountable, but all 25 of us hold each other accountable every day. And I think that's just a heavier emphasis. Now, next week, it just increases every single week with every game trying to go 1-0. So I think I would like to say it's the same. We're just pushing each other as hard as we can, just focusing on beating North Carolina on Saturday afternoon.
Could you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Brian Simmons?
Coach Simmons is awesome. I think he brings a perspective that some guys might not really know a lot about yet, and just kind of what he's done before he started working here and coaching here has kind of opened up a lot of guys' eyes and helping them in areas that they might not know a lot of that stuff just yet, and is trying to learn more about that kind of stuff.
You said that you had friends in Minnesota and here?
Yes.
How many? And
in Minnesota, it was one of my best friend's parents, so they traveled. They were also good friends with my parents, so they were in Minnesota. And then here I had a couple friends from my old school, 2 of them with my dad watching the game.
did you get a chance? Tell us about seeing them right afterward. And
Yeah.
dapping you up that, hey, you're in big time level now, as opposed to where you're
I think it was just, like I said, kind of building off that before. It was just really cool to kind of share that experience with them, because there's a lot of unknown if you're gonna get time, when you get time, kind of when that stuff happens. So having them there in the stands to kind of watch all that unfold was pretty awesome.
Zach, I know that offensive linemen are tough dudes. That's the job description. But has the way you guys want to play with more physicality maybe more of an emphasis on running downhill and power running with Omarion and everyone. Have you had to change anything about your approach or the way you play to sort of get to the level that Randy Clements wants you guys playing down there in terms of the physicality? Have you had to amp that up?
Definitely. Yeah, that also comes with playing with better competition. Like I said before, we're fortunate to go against the best defensive line in the ACC in the country every single day, and they bring it every day, so we have to bring it every day to match that intensity. And yeah, I think also being fairly new to center kind of changes your approach to the game, and it's all about pad level, it's about speed off the ball and being able to snap the ball and get to your point of contact first. So I feel like, yes, definitely, and I think that also kind of builds off the level of intensity our defensive line comes every day, and we have to match it, if not try and one up them.
Did you get any work at center at Muhlenberg?
Yeah, whenever we need someone to step in, I always just kind of one-on-ones. If that, primarily, I'd step in there just to get the other guys some reps.
Most of you play guard, right?
Tackle.
Tackle, excuse me.
You're on the outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, you guys good? All
Great
right.
stuff, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Seriously.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for telling us about